Hello, friends, and welcome to your daily flow yoga, under 5-minute Vinyasa yoga flow. My name is James. Today, we're going to break down a Sun Salutation A with some modifications that, if you're new to this kind of yoga, I think will prove helpful. Vinyasa yoga just means linking breath and movement, but it's also a sequence, refers to a sequence that we do a lot in this style. So I think this will come in handy. Come to the top of your mat and plant your feet down on the mat. They can either be hip width apart, or if it's comfortable for you, you can bring your big toes to touch. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Let your eyes close. As you inhale, feel your ribs expand. As you exhale, let yourself just arrive on the mat for the next few minutes. As you inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Try to get your arms nice and long as you reach up. Maybe your hands meet in prayer, maybe not. Whatever feels good to you. As you exhale, bring those hands back to heart center. Once more like that, inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Really try to find a lot of extension. That's one big hallmark of this kind of yoga. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Never be afraid to take up space here. Let's add on. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Exhale, we're going to swan dive bow forward. So take your arms wide, lead with your chest, just like an Olympic diver, I assume. And bring your hands flat on the floor. If your hands don't make it flat on the floor, just bend your knees until they get there. Release your neck. So shake your head yes and no. And then look for the connection of the top of the thigh and the bottom of the belly. One big inhale here. Exhale, melt. And on your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins and find a long, flat back. Looking for this length. Now, some folks will be able to keep their hands on the floor and do that. Others won't. This is a nice kind of meeting place for all of us. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Bow forward. On your next inhale, press down through your feet to sweep your arms wide and raise up so your whole body participates. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Great. We're going to add on, this will be sort of a modified version the first time, and then we'll go through it once more with a more progressed version of the flow. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Maybe they meet in prayer, maybe not. Exhale, swan dive, bow forward. Inhale, find that long, flat back. Think of this as a preparation. As you exhale, take your hands to the mat and send your right foot long. Inhale here. And exhale, see if you can just float that left foot back to meet the right. One big inhale, feel your strength of your long plank. And then this time, exhale, release your knees to the mat and untuck your toes. So we're just in a modified plank here. My knees landed south of my hips, and I'm still looking for a long plank. It's just not quite as long as it was. Inhale, feel your heart reaching forward. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and really note that they're trying to travel back in space rather than out. And then hug the elbows to the rib cage. As you inhale, release the belly to the mat. Press down through the low belly and look up. This is called a cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Go ahead and tuck your toes. And as you inhale, send your hips to your heels. And from here, see if you can just straighten your legs coming to down dog. Now, if you're new to this, that might be a little awkward, so just get here how you need to get here for today. Now, traditionally in this style of yoga, in this Sun Salutation A, we take 5 rounds of breath in our down dog. I haven't been counting. Maybe you have. Whatever breath you're taking, though, see if it can be calm. And let's just take one more inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. As you exhale, step. Or some of you may float, but today I'll walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, find your long, flat back. Exhale, bow. And inhale, reverse that swan dive, pressing through the 4 corners of your feet. Exhale, mountain pose. Good. So repeating just that little sequence will help you build up more strength to take the fuller version, which we'll do now. Today I will float back into my chaturanga, that half push-up, or I'll jump, whatever you want to call it. If that's not for you, you can always step. Meet yourself where you are. Maybe push yourself a little bit, but don't feel like you have to do everything all at once. You don't. Coming to stand. Hands at heart center. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Exhale, swan dive. Bow forward. Inhale, find your nice long flat back. Prepare. As you exhale, maybe you float back, landing in this half push-up. Coming now into an upward facing dog. So in an up dog, my thighs are engaged. I'm pressing down in the tops of my feet and my thighs hover off the mat. Now this is not easy. It's not meant to be easy, but you can still calm your breath. Look up, inhale. As you exhale, you roll over the toes, piking the hips. Now we sort of rushed through down dog last time, so let's take a moment here and think about pulling your hips back by engaging your thighs, especially if your wrists bother you. You can always take your hands on blocks or even kind of books of equal height. Something that gets your hands a little higher might help. But either way, we're making this inverted V shape. And it's like your spine is a stream of water pouring out from your pelvis as your thighs work to pull you back in space. On your next inhale, bend your knees and look up between your hands. And as you exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale to your long flat back. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, root to rise. Hands meet in prayer overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. The light that is in me bows to and honors the light that is in you. Namaste. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like, share, and follow dailyflow.yoga.